Well, let's take a listen to what Francis thinks about the Argentina football team.
They are the most despicable, time-wasting, cheating, cynical, nasty have ever existed. The New Zealand rugby union team, possibly the greatest rugby union team of all time, the New Zealand All Blacks, have a policy called the no dickheads policy. And that works like this. If they think you're a dickhead, regardless of your talent, you will never ever put on the All Blacks shirt and play for the All Blacks. You will get kicked out.
Are you a dickhead?
Whereas Argentina have a policy called the all dickhead policy. Which is the only way you get to play for Argentina is if you're a massive bellend.
Dickhead? They're a bunch of dick.
So you just have to look at their behaviour. The cynicism, the nastiness, the kicking, the persistent fouling. The moment you touch them, they throw themselves to the ground like they've actually just been shot. The moment that you touch Messi, there's about 10 of them that just come flooding round and shouting and screaming. I don't know, like he's some just disabled child who's in a wheelchair and you've just kicked him into a canal and everybody's had a meltdown like suddenly you're the bad guy. Dickhead's policy. Instead of him just being a socially awkward, inept dwarf who's brilliant at football and that's about it, and yet you're not allowed to challenge him. This is what these people are. And for those of you who think it's sour grapes, yeah, possibly it's sour grapes, but I don't care, it's my show. And this is more important than this, and I'll tell you why. I'm half South American, Venezuelan, everyone can drink, right? I spent a lot of time in South America and Venezuela. And I love football. I've always loved football before it was cool, since I was 8 years old in 1990. And I used to watch football in South America, in Venezuela. And in Venezuela, who've got a rubbish football team, but they're a baseball nation. And by the way, they beat America, the United States at baseball in a series of 3. So they're great at their own sport. Obviously, it's not real sport. No one, it's baseball, come on. Anyway, but they like it, fair play, whatever. But when the World Cup's on and there's a South American team playing, I'm talking about, I don't know, Brazil, Colombia, Bolivia, Peru. Everybody will sit down and watch the game and they'll cheer on the South American teams. They will always do that. They'll always cheer them on. The only one they won't cheer on are, that's right, the Argentines. Why is that? Because everybody hates them. You know how everybody hates them? Because of the nickname that they're given. You know what we call the Argentines in South America? The English of South America. That's how you know they're hated. They are the worst. They are the worst team. The thing that makes it so egregious is their team is filled with incredibly talented footballers. They don't have to behave the way that they do. But they behave the way that they do because they're cunts. That's why they behave like that. They don't have to. They don't need to do that in order to win. They do that because that's who they are. There's a very famous joke in Venezuela which talks about the arrogance of the Argentine. And it goes like this. An Argentine man goes to the bar and he's drunk. And he gets absolutely plastered. And he meets a guy at a bar and he's arrogant like most Argies are. And he puts his arm around him and he goes, right, you're going to come home with me. I have the best house in the whole town. I have the most beautiful wife. You are going to see the best. Only the best. So he takes his bloke back, not in a sexual way, get your head out of the gutter. And he talks him round. He takes him to the living room. He goes, you see the sofa? See that sofa? The best leather. The softest leather. Feel the leather. Aye, it's so soft, so beautiful. Takes him to the kitchen. He goes, you see this work surfaces? The marble. It is pink marble taken from Italy. It is used before in the Roman temples, but it has been retaken and it is now in my kitchen. It is beautiful marble. And he takes him to the bedroom. And his wife is there getting absolutely pounded by another man in front of them. And the guy's looking around, looks at the Argentine. The Argentine points at the man shagging his wife, looks at the guy and goes, you see that man over there? That is me. And that, my friends, a terrible country filled with terrible people who, I'm just going to say it, a nation of cheats. Maradona, right the way through. Every time they cheat, lie, in order to get what they want. The all dickhead policy.